Well, hey, I just finished. It's your boy Big J. Just finished watching the movie Tenet.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse. Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
I loved it. Black Power rankings, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Reality rankings, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I mean, just Nolan put on a masterclass of how to write action, how to take huge concepts and kind of make them work. So let's start with that. So, we had Denzel's son up in here. I had to fight off the urge to be like, behind you, Denzel. You know how we get in the theater. So I had to fight off that urge. But I feel like Denzel probably gave his son walking lessons because that boy walked just like Denzel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How Denzel get that swagger with it. Yeah, yeah. His son had that all the way. I wish he just would have had some of that swagger when he was delivering some of his lines. I felt like he was a little stiff a bit. Now I don't know if he was trying to play that way because he was playing like kind of like a agent and etc. Or if it's just how he delivers his line. Because some of the lines I thought if he just put a little swag up in there, like they really would have landed. But I thought it was still dope. Robert Patterson, star of the show. I feel like he stole the movie, not because anything he did or said that was great. I just felt his charisma very much shone through here. I mean, if you guys are concerned about how well he's going to play Bruce Wayne, don't worry about it. After you see this, that charisma he has, if he can translate it over to Bruce Wayne, we will be fine. And then he's in action scenes too, doing his thing as well. So I thought that was great. The one big drawback I had on it, and then most people were blaming the villain for the drawback because the villain was kind of James Bondy, but I don't mind that. I thought that was cool because I thought the movie was kind of in that ilk of James Bondy, sci-fi-ish, really like a noir. I thought it was like a detective noir that had time elements in there. So I thought that was cool. I didn't really get bothered by the villain. My only issue I thought was that once you explain kind of what the Tenet was situation, you kind of would add rules to it as the plot needed. Like, oh yeah, this also happens with Tenet. Oh yeah, this happens with Tenet and algorithms and meshing back or whatever. My premise on Tenet was that everything happens in time moving forward. Even when they would move it back, it was still time moving forward because those people were still moving forward while everything else was moving back. That was my thought of it, how you can spell Tenet forward and backwards and it's the same word. I felt like the time was always still going forward, even when it was going back. That's when once I got that and brought into that premise, it made the movie unfold very naturally and organic for me. They did have some of that, like I call the Back to the Future, don't see your future or past self kind of elements, which I always love and enjoy in sci-fi time films. So I thought that was dope. The other parts of the movie that I really enjoyed, I did enjoy sometimes how he had hard cuts in some of his actors talking scenes to each other, like very jarring hard cuts. And I felt like that was trying to make you uncomfortable with the flow of time going on in the movie. I think that was extremely intentional. The fight scenes were really good. Christopher Nolan does have a way of making his fight scenes where he gets all up in your kind of blocking and whatever. For here or there, I thought it was good. You could kind of still see what the characters were doing and trying to get off. But sometimes I do think he gets a little Born Identity, not shaky cam, but so close that you kind of don't get the full vibe of it. I didn't see it in IMAX. I did see it on a really big theater in the movie tavern. So I didn't get the full IMAX experience. But this movie does make me want to kind of go back and view it in IMAX because I think it will be even more grandiose. But I liked it. Again, out of 10, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Black Power Rangers, again, best Nolan film ever. Black lead, gotcha. Strong black lead, love it. None of these issues from the black lead, even more better. But I would say just for a Nolan film, I think it's probably middle of the pack for him. But I think an interesting watch would be watching Inception, Interstellar, and this movie because they play a lot about time and time manipulation. So obviously Nolan has a thing, and even Dunkirk has a aspect of time that because you hear the clicking clock through the whole thing. So I think it's an interesting format of time that he's dealing with or speaking about or creating in his movies. So I mean, again, I recommend go see it, check it out, have a good time. Don't think too hard on it because I think if you get caught up in thinking too hard on it, you're going to miss just the fun of the movie. I think my homeboy Rico, he missed some, maybe a little bit of fun of the movie because I think he was trying to really figure out what this Tenet thing is. I think the best way to explain it is if you just look at it as everything is still going forward chronologically, even when things are going backwards, because it's a phrase in the movie they use like if it happened, if it's happened, it's happened, like it's going to happen. So just kind of just a vision. Everything is still going forward, even when things are going in reverse. I think that's the best way I could say to view it, where it doesn't get you caught up in the Malaysia. But yeah, man, Denzel's son put on, man. Robert Pattinson did his thing on here, man. I'm excited about Batman even more now because of this. So yeah, you guys enjoy, man, and I'll see ya. I holla.